Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Saturday Morning Glory with Lady G. Now, how is everybody doing? Did everybody get their proper night's rest last night so we can get up and defeat the challenges that we're going to have today? Because you know we're going to have some challenges, right? But we got this. You got this, sis. You got this, bro. Listen, before we get into what we're getting into, let me tell you what I'm drinking. This morning, I got up and I squeezed some fresh lime and I made some dandelion tea. Yes, I did. And here, I still got the tea bag in there, y'all. Here she is right here. This is dandelion tea with fresh squeezed lime. Yes, indeed. Here he is. Let's take a sip of it before I take the bag out. Yes, honey. That's good. Because y'all know in the morning when I get up, I always try to drink something hot to kickstart my day. Listen, let's go ahead and get into what we came to get into today, honey. Y'all, I was walking about and being about my business this morning. The Lord dropped this in my spirit, and He said, "It's go time." I say, "It's go time. Where we going, Jesus? What? Go? Where we going?" And he took me to the scripture in the book. Now, if anybody know me, you know the book is what? The Bible. You got it. Some of y'all got it. All right. So he took me to this story in the book. So how I want to ask a question. Have any of us ever felt like we have lost anything? Have you ever felt like people have just taken stuff away from you? They've taken maybe your peace of mind, maybe your joy, maybe your happiness. Maybe this is what you've been thinking. They've taken away your hope. They've taken away your livelihood. They've taken away, like for instance, if you were a military spouse, okay, you married a person that was in the Army, Air Force, whatever. And down the road, it's like they started tripping, or they was tripping all the time, but you never seen the red flags. And all those red flags that was on fire, you thought it was a barbecue. And you're like, somebody cooking barbecue, but no, it was those red flags. But we went into that situation hoping that it would get better. Because in the back of our mind, we hope that things will get better, right? Well, things probably got better for a little while, and then they wasn't better anymore. They got worse. And so the person decided that, okay, I'm gonna leave, or they cheated on you, or they mistreated you, or they abused you, or they beat you, or whatever the case may be. They came in and they took your peace away from you. They took that safe place. Or maybe they had benefits, and you were relying on those health benefits, because if you're a military spouse, you get to go on base, and you get to go shop at the commissary, you get to go to the doctors, you get your medication free, your prescriptions. And so now they're gone, and you felt like they have just taken something away from you. Maybe you were on a job, and maybe you had a supervisor that just didn't really care for you. You just wasn't a cup of tea, and so they found ways to just release you and let you go. So now you're sitting here without your livelihood. You're sitting here without your paycheck because somebody simply did not like you. Well, I got a story for you straight up out the book. Now, in this story, we're talking about David. David was a warrior, honey. He was a soldier of all soldiers. So David and his troops had gone out to war. And when they had been out there, I think it said 15 days out there in a war, in a battle. They out there doing some damage. They out there letting the devil know that they serve the one true and living God, and they was annihilating them. Well, guess what? While he was out there taking care of God's business, the Amalekites, they came on over into Ziklag. They came on over there. They came on over to the south. And what they decided to do, they attacked David's village because David was out fighting wars. He and his men, all the men were out fighting wars. And that's what men do. Men go out there and protect. If they know the enemy is approaching them or pursuing them, they're going out there and handle their business because they want to keep the family safe. They want to keep what they have safe. A real man, not a Build-A-Bear. Now, shout out to Shay, the Love Diva, okay? Because I got that from her. The Build-A-Bears, okay? And my pastor, he'll talk about them Build-A-Bears. All right, listen. So the Amalekites came over, y'all, and they decided that they wanted to pick on David's property, wanted to pick on his town. So you know what they did? They went in and they invaded. The Amalekites went in there and they invaded David's town. And not only did they invade it, but they kidnapped everybody, the women, the children. They took everybody. They didn't slew them. They didn't kill them. They didn't unalive them, but they took them all into captivity. So here comes David and his troops. They coming back home, thinking they finna get a good hot meal, thinking they getting ready to get massaged down and in a hot bubble bath and getting pampered because they went out and fought a war and they won. They're coming back victorious. But when they came back, they smelled smoke. They saw smoke. Wait a minute, what's going on? Everybody barbecuing at the same time? What's going on? So here they come home, they arrive to their house, honey, and it was burnt down. The Amalekites had burnt everything down. They had taken all of their possessions, taken their wives and their children, and they burnt down their town. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine in your mind, you going out to fight a war, you going out grocery shopping, you going out hanging out with your girls, you going out hanging out with the boys, and you come home and everything is burnt down to the ground. They even took fufu. They even took your puppets. They took your cows. They took everything and burnt the town down to the ground. Now the troops, everybody was crying. David was crying. The troop was crying. And they was all upset. And they was like, oh my God, they have come in and they have destroyed everything. They've taken everything. They've taken our wives. They've taken our children. They burned down our homes. We have nothing left. Have you ever felt like that? Have you ever felt like that you have nothing left? You have just been, you're spent. You have nothing left. You have nothing else to give. Have you ever been so abused? Have you ever been so disrespected? Have you ever been so discarded that you felt like you have nothing left? Well, this is how they felt. They felt like they had nothing left. And this is in 1 Samuel, the 30th chapter, verses 1 through 8. If you want to follow along, if you want to read it later, because this is some good reading right here. So they're crying. These are grown men, y'all. But you know how it is, honey, when a woman has touched your heart, when a man has his castle, I've heard a saying say, a man's home is his castle. So he's returned home to his castle and there is no castle. There's nothing but smoke and rubble. So here they're crying, all the troops are crying. And after they got through crying, the book says they cried until they couldn't even cry no more. Have you ever been like that? You've cried so much till you don't even have any more tears. Have you ever been through a divorce? Have you ever been through a separation? Have you ever lost a loved one? They're going on to be with the Lord. And you have cried so much till you have no more tears to cry. You've tried to cry and there's nothing coming out, but you're still hurting. You're still distraught. You're still in distress, but there's nothing coming out. Well, honey, after they got through trying to cry and there was no more tears, guess what they decided to do? All the troops, honey, they turned against David. I said it. They turned against David, honey. They was like, if we hadn't went with you, we could have been here to protect our house. We could have been here to protect our property. We could have been here to save our wives and children. And they turned against David. But guess what? David had suffered the same distress that they had suffered. Have you ever been in a situation where people have been through what you went through, or they're going through what you go through, but they looking at you like you ain't nothing? They looking at you like, why she going through that? But they going through it too. They looking at you like, oh, I thought she was better than that. Oh, I didn't know she was going through that. But they going through it too. So the troops was going through the same situation. They was going through the same loss, but they blamed David, and David was crying with them. David was upset. David was hurt. Yes, he was. They took everything, y'all. So now, they got so mad. They got so mad. They got so upset. Because when people are upset, hurting people hurt people. So they were so mad, they had to find somebody to blame. But there were no Amalekites in sight. So they chose the next best thing. And that's how sometimes narcissists are. They are mad. They don't like themselves. Have you ever been with a narcissist? I have. They don't like themselves. They don't love themselves, and they're mean and they're upset. So they take out all their bitterness on you. But David did not return the favor. No, he did not. He did not start cussing them out and lash. Fool, I'm going through the same thing you're going through. He didn't do that. Fool, my wife she gone too. I had 2 wives, both of them gone. My house burnt to the ground just like yours. He did not do that, y'all. David did not do that. You know what David did? He went to the priest. He said, give me the ephod. Give me the prayer cloth. Give me that prayer. Let me go and wrap myself up and let me go and encourage myself. Because there are times, honey, when you have to learn to encourage yourself. There are times when you have to learn to stand up on your own 2 feet and do what needs to be done. David went and said, hey, look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to encourage myself. You have to learn to encourage yourself. I have to learn to encourage myself. When bad things happen to good people, we have to get up on our feet and learn how to encourage ourselves. Now, how do we encourage ourselves? Now, maybe you've been through a bad breakup. Maybe you went through a situation where it was mental. Maybe you had a lot of mental distress. Maybe you were physically abused. Maybe you were mentally abused. Maybe your best friends turned against you. Now, I'm a firm believer in therapy. I don't know what anybody else thinks, but Lady G is a firm believer in counseling and therapy. If you've been hurt, if you've been broken, if you've been mistreated, if you've been abused, if you have been abandoned, I encourage you to seek out good therapy. If you don't have a good man and woman of God that is godly, has godly wisdom, and that can give you godly counsel, I beseech you to go and find you some therapy, honey. If you are ready to get on your feet, encourage yourself, and do what's best for your life, I encourage you to start out with some therapy, because there are some things that we have gone through that we don't understand. We don't understand why we went through that. They didn't understand why they came in and just burnt down their houses, that why they took their women and children. They were just being the Amalekites. That is what they do. Haters will be haters. See, y'all keep trying to tell y'all, haters are not new. There's nothing new under the sun. The book tells us that. There's nothing new under the sun. Y'all, come here. I'm tell you something. There's nothing new under the sun. It's just the same old things being done to new people, and the new people think it's new because they never experienced it before. But there's nothing new under the sun. Okay? So listen. So David said, I'm going to encourage myself, because apparently I ain't going to get no help. I can't get no help in here. I can't get nobody to encourage me. Sometimes when you need to be encouraged, you call your friends, they're not there. Sometimes you even call some of your frenemies because you feel like, well, at least she can give me some good advice. I know she don't like me, but she do have good advice. But you can't even get your frenemies on the phone. So there comes a time when you need to get a mirror, honey, and you need to start encouraging yourself. You are beautiful. You are worth it. You are alive. He didn't kill you. She didn't kill you. You went through, but girl, you still standing. Man, you still standing, still looking good. You got to encourage yourself. Get on your phone, get on the web, find you some good counseling, and get yourself into some counseling. If you're still depressed, if you're still going through, you still can't get over what he did. You still can't get over what she said. You can't get over the rape and the molestation. You can't get over the abuse. Honey, get into some therapy. David went before the priest, and he went and got the prayer cloth, and David began to pray, and he began to seek God. And what David asked God was, honey, it was phenomenal. And what he said, he prayed asking God, shall I pursue after the truth? Now you say, now should I get up and go? Should I go and take my stuff back? Honey, shall I overtake them? David wanted to know, what's the plan? What's the game plan? Baby, you got to have a game plan. You got to make up in your mind that this is enough. I'm tired of feeling sorry for myself. I'm tired of sitting walking around here not combing my hair, not fixing myself up, hiding from myself from the world. Go to work, go home, go to work, go home. I don't go out and do nothing. I don't treat myself out. I just sit here because he shouldn't have did that to me. She hurt me so bad. I don't know if my life will ever be the same. Baby, encourage yourself. Honey, you got to tell yourself, yeah, he hurt me, but he didn't kill me. Yeah, she left me, but I'm still alive. Honey, I still got some pep in my step. I am somebody. You got to tell yourself that, honey. When you get up and say, girl, you still got your eyebrows. Girl, you still got your eyelashes. Girl, your hair might be great, but girl, fix it up and look, fix yourself up. Encourage yourself. Go and ask God, shall I pursue? Pursue you a therapist, honey. If you're going through and you got all these thoughts running through your head, you're running around the house like your hair's on fire, pursue a therapist, okay? It's nothing wrong with it. People try to make you think you crazy because you want to go and get counseling. Baby, go get you some counseling. Don't worry about them folks, because they need to be going with you, okay? They need to book the next appointment before you or after you. So don't worry about what people say. Encourage yourself. Build yourself up, because if you don't, you're going to go down, down, down. And that's not what we're doing today. So he says, shall I overtake them? And he, which is God, said, answered him. When you pray and you ask God, listen, he will answer you. And he said, pursue, for thou shalt surely overtake them, and without fail recover all. I just wanted to come in the garden and encourage you on today and let you know it's go time, baby. Honey, it's time for you to get up and go. It's time for you to get up out that bed, get up off that couch, stop walking around here moping and dragging your feet, pick your feet up, put some pep in your step, put your little makeup on if that's what you want to do. Go buy you a new dress or new shoes. If you can't, wash out something old and press it out real good. Send it to the cleaners. But fix yourself up, honey. Get yourself together and go. Get up because it is go time. It's time for you to get up and go out of depression. It's time for you to get up and go, honey. Leave depression behind. Leave anger behind because anger never helped anybody. All anger does is build. Honey, we sitting up here mad at people that have went on about their life. Holding on to unforgiveness is like sitting up drinking a whole cup of poison and waiting for that person to die. They're not. Stop drinking the poison. Put that cup down. Get up and go. It's go time, baby. It's time to go and live your life. It's time to go out there and live your very best life and be the very best version of you that you can be. Because the best revenge you can ever get out of any situation is to live your best life and to never let anybody snatch your joy. Never let anybody snatch your happiness. It's go time. It's time for you to get up and go. Get up and go do something today. Get out the house. Tell yourself, I'm going to comb my hair. I'm going to put on some clothes. And if I don't do nothing, just walk around. Go out at East Chase and walk around. Or go to the park and sit by the duck pond. Get up and go. It's go time, baby. You have mourned long enough. You have suffered long enough. You have cried long enough. You've wept long enough. You blamed yourself long enough. It's time for you to forgive yourself. Man, forgive yourself. Maybe you were the reason for the breakup, man. Maybe you were the breakup for the reason for the breakup, sis. Forgive yourself. Maybe you wasn't the best parent. Forgive yourself. Maybe you didn't have the best parents. Forgive yourself. And if you can't forgive yourself and move on, I encourage you to seek therapy, seek counseling, because it's time for you to live your best life. It's time for you to start dancing over all those graves. It's time for you to just get up and raise the praise. It's time for you to be happy. Aren't you tired of being sad? Aren't you tired of being depressed? Aren't you tired of sitting alone in the dark? Get up and live your life. It's go time. So I want to encourage you today. Get up and go because it's over. It's time for you to live your best life. You deserve it. Encourage yourself. Put on something cute and get in the mirror and say, man, you still got it. Girl, you still got it. Encourage yourself. Don't wait for people to encourage you. Don't wait for people to give you any compliments. Compliment yourself. So I just want to say, here's to you. It's go time. Get up and let's go. Until the next time, I want y'all to make sure y'all subscribe, follow me, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you follow me on Facebook. Make sure you follow me on, TikTok. On TikTok, I'm called Being Lady G. So go on over there to my TikTok and follow me on TikTok. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you will, do me a favor. I'm trying to get the numbers up on YouTube. So I would like for you to send this video out to the last 3 people you text on this week and tell them, girl, it's go time. Man, it's go time. It's time to stop weeping, laying around mourning. Get up. Encourage yourself. It's go time. Until the next upload, I want y'all to go out there and I want y'all to have a blessed and wonderful day. And I want you to have a wonderful day. You got it. On purpose. Till the next upload. Later, y'all.